What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank. This is another episode of Roadie Reactions, and today I'm going to be checking out the latest music video from one of the latest signings to Century Media Records, a band called Distant. And I gotta admit, I'm really not familiar with this band. I only first heard about them like a week ago when a friend of mine that works at Century Media asked if I had checked them out yet. And then about a day after that, another friend of mine from a completely different record label asked me if I had heard them yet. And when I said no, they got all excited and they were like, dude, you have to check this band out. It is so heavy. And when I have somebody at a completely different record label that excited about another band, I'm like, all right, this might be worth checking out. And then about a day after that, I saw one of the members of Lorna Shore post about these guys on Instagram saying that this is one of the heaviest bands out right now. And if somebody from Lorna Shore is saying that, there's absolutely no doubt that this is probably just going to be heavier than f***. But other than that, I really don't know anything except for the fact that one of those people did say they're Dutch, which is cool because we usually don't get like really super heavy stuff coming out of the Netherlands, so this might be something new from that area. But they do have a brand new record coming out soon. It's called Heritage. It releases on February 10th, 2023 from Century Media Records, and pre-orders are available. And if you want to check that out or follow them on their socials to keep up with what they're doing, I'll throw links to all of that stuff in the description of this video. But since there isn't anything else I know, let's just get on with this one, man. I will link this original video in the description below, and today, for the very first time ever, I'm going to be checking out Distant and watching their brand new music video for their single, Orphan of Blight. Let's go! Oh, look at that logo! Of course this is going to be heavy! Oh, good ride work. I waited too long. Okay, just first initial thoughts. The vocal layering on some of these parts is absolutely filthy and sick, and I love it. And so you've got kind of like the symphonic elements that you've got with a lot of deathcore out right now, but I'm also hearing some really cool guitar work that's reminding me like Brand of Sacrifice style stuff too, which I like really cool, like that really high techy sounding stuff. All the guitars that I'm seeing being used so far look like they could be Aristides, maybe, based on the headstock and the body designs. They're all multi-scale instruments for sure. And if they're Dutch, that makes sense. Although, it could be Vandermeij, if I remember right. It could be Vandermeij guitars too, because that's another Dutch company that does a lot of specialty instruments. And I've seen, I know one of the guitarists from Beast in Black uses those as well. I know one of the guitar players with Arion uses them. It could be either or. I'll keep looking more and we'll try and figure it out. But so far, this is cool, man. It definitely is right at my expectations of heavy. So we'll see where this keeps going. Okay, I'm pretty convinced those are Vandermeij guitars. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly because it's Dutch. The company is actually named after the main luthier, the guy that started the company. And I think he might be the only person. Like, it's his, like, boutique guitar company. I think his name's Koen? Cohen? I'm not Dutch. Somebody's going to correct me. But his last name is Vandermeij. And like I said, we've seen his guitars and a lot of other stuff. They're very boutique, multi-scale instruments. I'm 99.9% sure that's what those are. I think I'm just going to go with that for my final answer. Everybody, even the bass player, like those all look like his designs, but I will double check as always, and I'll put some information in here. Drum-wise, I'm not really getting any looks on anything, but the one thing that I'm liking about this so far, there hasn't really been any like shock factor moments. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that listen to metal and deathcore that are going to be like, oh, this kind of sounds like a lot of other bands. And I get that, but that's what you get when you're in specific genres. But with a lot of bands, you get a lot of shock factor, a lot of like insanely brutal breakdowns and crazy vocals and stuff. This is just good, heavy fucking music for my book. Like, this is something I can turn on, like, while I'm in my car, while I'm weightlifting, while I'm just sitting here working on the computer. It's just good fucking heavy music, and I enjoy that. Sometimes I don't need to be blown away. Sometimes I am in the mood for just punishing, brutal, heavy music, and that's what we're getting here. This video, though, it does very much remind me of the To the Hellfire video by Lorna Shore. Same aesthetics almost, just not as dark. It's all of them playing in the same space with, I think, 4 flame units just back there every now and then. Same exact thing. I mean, you can only do so much for performance videos and stuff, but it's a cool aesthetic. I like it, but it did remind me of that. Let's just knock the rest of this out. We've got about halfway to go, but I don't think there's anything much more I'm probably going to be talking about. Damn, those vocals are strong, dude. We haven't gotten like a stereotypical filthy breakdown yet. Like, I'm wondering if it's going to be at the end. Okay. Oh, those guitar bends are so sick. There we go. Tones are so good. Oh my god, that's low. Holy f***. Wow. That reminded me of something tonally, and I can't put my finger on it right now. That was to be expected, I think. Just a filthy breakdown. I mean, tuned that low and that slow, I wasn't expecting. Like, I like this, man. Let's go talk more about it. A lot of thoughts on this one, so we'll just start at the actual production of the recording itself. It sounded fantastic, man. It really did. I liked the tones on everything. I thought it was mixed very well. There was nothing in there that was like super overbearing, and I actually really like how the drums were mixed. There was some like cymbal work in there that I could really hear that, again, wasn't overbearing, but it was there enough that you could really hear the intricacy in it, and I like that a ton. Tones on the guitars and the bass were sick, and I love some of the vocal layering effects with this singer. Video-wise, pretty straightforward, man. It looked great. It was similar to, like I said, some other music videos we've seen from other bands, but when you're doing performance shots like this and you're going for simplicity, it's a good, clean look. Just play in a room with some lighting and some pyro effects, and it's awesome. Now, I will say, I don't think this is the heaviest thing I've ever heard. Like, I don't think this is heavier than a lot of the other music that I'm listening to right now. And I know it's not a competition, and we're not trying to compare here, but, like, I was almost waiting for that shocking moment because of how heavy people were telling me this was going to be. I was waiting for just something super out of left field and disgusting and ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, that breakdown was heavier than shit, but I kind of liked that there wasn't anything shocking or gimmicky or anything. This is just straightforward symphonic deathcore, in your face, heavier than shit. And I really like that. I really do, man. Sometimes I am in the mood for just something punishing that's not overly complicated or technical, and not to say that they weren't playing cool technical things, but this was just good, heavy music, man, and sometimes that's all I want. I don't need everything I listen to be new and innovating and groundbreaking and crazy technical and more shreddy than anything else. And you know, I gotta admit, I see that in the comments sometimes, man. I see people that are like, oh, it's been done before. Oh, this sounds like another band. I'm like, yeah, but not everything needs to be fucking brand new and groundbreaking, man. There are tons of other bands that sound the same, and that's why we have genres, because there are certain sounds that sound alike. But I'm definitely gonna be keeping on the lookout for this band. My mind is not made up 100% if I'm going to go pre-order this album right now or not. I'll probably wait for one more single and see what we get, but I do just like supporting bands, so I might go pre-order this right now anyways. But I'm going to dig into these guys, man, because there's not a lot that I know right now after watching it, and I'm very intrigued, especially because it seems like this band is kind of coming out of nowhere, and I can't think of another band that's Dutch that sounds like this. So I'm intrigued, man. Hopefully you guys are too. I enjoyed myself with this one, man, and I am definitely going to be on the lookout for the next time that these guys drop a music video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves. If you're new to the channel, feel free to click subscribe. I release new videos all the time. We do reactions, we do podcasts, we do interviews, we do behind the scenes music industry stuff. But the subscription helps the channel, and you'll be alerted when I drop new stuff. If you liked this video, feel free to like it. If you disliked it, feel free to dislike it. Just know that I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. I'm on a ton of different social media. I have a Discord that a lot of us hang out on. I have a Twitch that I stream on from time to time. So I'll throw links to all that stuff in the description below. My handle on all of social media is @TankTheTech. Thank you so very much for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.